my name is Masha, and today I'm going to show you all of the bracelets that I made in winter. We made it! I'm actually doing a wrap-up video. So in my last wrap-up, I was talking about the fact that I haven't made consistent wrap-up videos in a really long time. I used to do these monthly, but ever since I started working full-time and I have less time to dedicate to this hobby, I make less bracelets and I have less time to actually film every month and do a wrap-up video. So I kind of stopped doing them for a while, and then I was like, I really missed them. They were a lot of fun. You guys seem to like them as well. I get to showcase all of the beautiful bracelets that I do. So I want to make them, but still have some kind of a consistency. So last time I was like, okay, how about I try to do them quarterly? So we're doing them seasonally now. This is the winter wrap up, and I'm going to show you all the bracelets that I made in December, January, and February. Except I forgot what I made in December. So it's just going to be January and February. Another side note, I created a tracker this year, and this year I'm actually keeping track of all of the bracelets that I'm making when I started them, even when I cut the strings for them, because oftentimes I cut strings in bulk and then I start the bracelet like months down the line. And I'm tracking how long it's taking me to do, I'm tracking which bracelets I'm making, like which patterns, how many alpha bracelets, how many normal patterns I'm doing, and so on. And I have this whole Google sheet that I'm using to do that. I'll be sharing that at the end of the year when I've actually decided what I want to be there, because I'm still working through it and figuring out what I want. But point is, I'm actually tracking things, so I have a specific list of things that I've done. And I actually legitimately do not remember what I made in December, so it's just going to be January and February. Thankfully, I made quite a few bracelets. But before we get into all of that, let's have a look at the bracelets that you guys made. So in my last wrap up, I gave you guys a challenge, and here are some of the amazing bracelets that you guys created. Thank you so much for participating in the challenge. I always really enjoy looking through the bracelets and like liking a bunch of them on Instagram. So these are always really fun for me, and I am going to be giving you a challenge for the springtime as well. That'll be at the end of the video. So thank you so much for participating. If you did, I really hope you had a good time doing that. I forgot about the challenge, so I didn't make a bracelet that fit this criteria, unfortunately, which is 100% on me. I completely forgot that that was a thing that I did. But I will be participating in this challenge. In fact, I actually have a pattern picked out that I want to do already. But again, more on that later in the video. So thank you everyone who participated. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're gonna participate in this challenge as well. All right, so let me show you all the bracelets that I've made. I have 10 to show you guys today. There's actually something special about all of these bracelets. So this year, I'm trying a new filming tactic, filming routine, I guess. Basically, spring and summer is when the most people watch my videos, pretty much because that's when people make friendship bracelets most of the time. For a lot of people, it's like a summertime activity, that's what they associate it with, and just a lot of people have more free time in spring and summer than they do in the other months of the year. And usually what ends up happening is spring and summer roll around, I know that I should be making like more tutorials and more videos in general for you guys because that's when the community is most active, but then because I haven't up until that point, I start making them, it takes me a while to make them, and by the time I've actually got a load of content prepared, it's like September. So I always end up missing the peak activity point. So this year I decided to try to film things in advance. So I've already pre-filmed a bunch of videos specifically for spring and summer. So a lot of the bracelets I'm going to show you today are actually going to be kind of spoilers for upcoming videos. So you'll see bracelets that I have already filmed and edited tutorials for that are coming out later in the year. So it's a little sneak peek for you guys. I hope you enjoy. This is the first bracelet that I made this year. I'll leave all the patterns linked in the description in case you want to make any of these. But this was actually a bracelet that I started last year and then completely forgot existed. So I have this container that I use. It lives on my bookshelf, and I put strings in it from bracelets that I'm making, mostly alphas. This is really useful for because when I'm making an alpha bracelet, sometimes I need to replace the string, and this way I have the string readily available and don't have to go searching through all of my bags to find the exact shade. I can just go in here and color match it to whatever I was using. But I leave these for normal patterns as well, just because whenever I'm making a bracelet, I'm too lazy to basically put the strings back in the bag, so I just kind of dump them here. And I did a vlog relatively recently, I'll leave it linked in the card in the description, where I was sort of going through this and cleaning it up, and I found a bunch of unfinished bracelets, and this was one of them. And also this is already messy again. I'm making a lot of bracelets right now, so it just is. So yeah, I found this bracelet in there, and it was in there for a few months. I don't remember if I made it in a video, if it was just like on Instagram stories or something, but this is a bracelet that I was making with exclusively DMC string because I found a bunch that I had, and it didn't have any black or white in it, so I was looking for a pattern that I could use without using black or white, and I ended up settling on this one. These are colors that I wouldn't really normally use, and the outline for this is kind of brownish purple. Let me show you. Not quite sure how well the camera is picking it up, but the color of the outline there's like a brownish purple, and then we've got like an orange and a yellow for the X's, and then the diamonds are actually pale green. So this is a very unusual color scheme for me, but I really, really like how this turned out. It's super cute. So I really like this bracelet. I think it's really cute, and I'm glad that I was clearing out that box because I completely forgot it existed. It probably would have been in there for a really long time had I not cleaned it out and found it. So this was my first bracelet of the year. I finished this one, and that's bracelet number 1. Moving on, we have my first tutorial bracelet, and that will be this one. So this is the twisted chevron bracelet, which I filmed a tutorial for. It's coming out within the next few months. It's coming out soon, but this is a really cool design because it's 2 chevrons together that then separate, twist over, and combine into a bracelet again. I think that this is just absolutely super cool. I kept seeing these around, people were making them all the time, and I knew I just had to try this for myself. And as I was making it, I was like, this is actually super easy to make. Why don't I make a tutorial on it? So that's what I did. And I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. As I said, it like separates, so you can literally like split it and then it twists back together. I think this is a really cool and creative idea. The tutorial for this is going to be coming out soon. Keep your eyes out. Moving on, we've got another tutorial bracelet, and that is this one. Now this is a bracelet pattern that I'm actually really surprised I haven't yet filmed a tutorial for, because this is such a classic to me. I used to make this pattern all the time when I was just starting out making friendship bracelets. I made a ton of these. I had like a whole collection with different color combinations. So this is the woven friendship bracelet, and it's actually super beginner friendly-ish. I mean, provided you've made at least a couple of bracelets before and know how to do the knots, I feel like this is beginner friendly because there's only 2 rows to it. And look how cute it is. I think it turned out fantastically. I'm also really happy with the color choice here for me. I absolutely love this bracelet. I think I'm actually gonna wear it. Where, if you know me, I don't actually wear my bracelets much, but this is a vibe. I really wanna wear this one. So this is how it turned out for me. I think it's super, super cute. And as I said, it's literally 2 rows. So it's super fun and easy to create. I filmed a tutorial for this as well. It's also gonna be coming out within the next few months. So keep your eyes out for that if you wanna make it. But the pattern is also linked in the description if you just wanna follow that. Next up, we've got another tutorial bracelet. As I said, I'm on a roll. I'm filming a lot of tutorials. It's this one. This is the Leaves friendship bracelet. And it's one of those friendship bracelets where you don't need to make all of the knots. See how you've got like strings coming out of it? That's because it's like 0 knots, or basically you're not making some knots, you're skipping some knots, and that's why you get those strings sort of dragging across, which means that this is super quick to create because you're skipping a bunch of knots. There's significantly so difficult to speak. There's significantly less knots required, there you go, to create this bracelet than a normal typical friendship bracelet. So this is what the friendship bracelet looks like up close. I think it's a really, really fun design, and this is what it looks like flipped, and I actually think it might look even better on this side than it does on the typical side that you view friendship bracelets at. This is fantastic. Like, it's really, really cool. I really like this one, and I'm really glad I filmed a tutorial for this one as well. I also just really like how the colors look on this one. I think the colors really work with this pattern well, and it turned out looking really cute. So this tutorial is also coming soon. Moving on, we've got our first alpha bracelet of the year and of the wrap-up, and that's this one. I made a tiny little alpha. It's not really even a full-sized bracelet, and it's just for you. Hello, viewer. So this is a pattern that is actually a sibling to this pattern, and both of these patterns were used to explain how to make letter alpha bracelets. So of course this one says hello reader, this one says hello viewer. I made the hello reader one last year when I was explaining how to make letter alphas in my book, The Beginner's Guide to Friendship Bracelets. The book has a bunch of photo tutorials. It's a photo tutorial book, but it specifically has a tutorial on how to make letter alphas, and that's what I made the first bracelet for. I used it in this book, and then I realized that I don't actually have a video explanation of how to do that, so I decided to film a video about it. That's why this one says hello viewer. It's basically going to be a tutorial about how to pick out letters from an alphabet pattern that has like a bunch of different letters, and then also how to make your own patterns with text in it, basically. That was a bit bigger of a project. It took me quite a long time to actually make that, and it's also using a bunch of bracelets that you guys sent me. I asked for pictures of letter alphas that you guys sent me over on Instagram, so I'm going to be showcasing a bunch of your work there as well, just to kind of demonstrate what bracelets you can make with this technique. So that video is going to be coming out soon as well. Next up, we've got this bracelet, which is also an unfinished bracelet that I found in that box from forever ago. I think I started this one over a year ago at this point. I think I even posted a picture on Instagram with the beginning of it. I was like so excited to make it, and then I completely forgot it existed. So that's great. Not only that, I actually kind of lost the string for it, the background string. I didn't lose it, it was here, but it took me so long to find it that I was convinced that I had like gotten rid of it accidentally. So yeah, I found it and then I finished this bracelet. This bracelet doesn't really work as a bracelet because it's got 2 cats on the side, sides, and then once you actually fold it to make a bracelet, it ends up being like at the bottom of your wrist where the ties are, and you only get to see this. So it doesn't really function well as a bracelet, but it's fun and I like the design and I think it's cute. So I made it anyway. This is what it looks like up close. It actually uses 2 separate patterns for each of the cats. I'll leave both linked in the description for you. I love this one. I just think it's really cute, and it was such a vibe to make because a bunch of it is just empty rows and it was super simple. So there's that one. Next up, we have one of my favorites. It's this bracelet. So I ended up calling this one the braided twist. It's actually really difficult to name friendship bracelets because a lot of them don't have names. I just come up with something, and that's what happened in this case. So that's what I ended up calling it. I think it's really cute. I really genuinely love this pattern. And what's funny is this bracelet and this bracelet are actually very, very similar. So this one only uses 2 rows, right? This one has 4, but 2 of these are the candy stripe. And then the other 2 are very similar to this one. There's like a slight difference, but they're very similar. So when I actually started explaining the second one, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I feel like I had already done this just like a while ago because I was filming them kind of consecutively. Anyway, that was quite funny. But then, you know, they look completely different, right? So I really, really like this bracelet. I like the pattern of it, and I also really like the colors that I chose here. I think they work super well together. It's kind of like the colors remind me of a sunset, and I think that's really cool. I had a blast making this one. It was genuinely so fun, and I really enjoyed it. You might notice that a few of these are actually kind of like in a candy stripe shape, where I'm making a half triangle end and then the bracelet kind of functions like a candy stripe. It's the same here. I mean, as I said, they're similar patterns. We've got another one afterwards as well that's in a similar, I don't know why that happened. That wasn't intentional. I just kind of found bracelets that are in a candy stripe shape that I wanted to make. So here we are. This bracelet is really cute. I really liked it, and the tutorial for it is coming out soon as well. This is also a fairly simple one. So if you've made at least 1 or 2 bracelets before and familiar with the knots, I'd say you can do it. Next up, we've got this one. And this bracelet is like an optical illusion. It's weird to look at because I don't know, it just blends in my eyes. Here is a closer look for you. But you get what I was saying? Like, it's like an optical illusion. Like, you've got the diamonds in the center, but it's weird to look at. Not in a bad way. I like it. Like, it's a lot of fun. I actually had a lot of fun making this, but it's weird, right? I really, really love the colors here. I think the colors are so cute. It took me so long to pick them out though. Like, I could not settle on colors that I liked, but this is what it ended up looking like. I cannot get over the colors. Like, they're genuinely so cool. Kind of looks like candy floss-esque colors. Like, this bracelet just reminds me of candy. So I filmed a tutorial for this one as well. This one is slightly more difficult than the other ones that I showed you just because there's more rows, but it's also not that difficult, you know? You can probably make it. I hope so. And finally, we've got 2 alphas. These 2 alphas I filmed for Not With Me's. It's really hard to like make a tutorial for an alpha. That's why I don't do those. Because, you know, with a normal bracelet, there's like multiple ways that you can do it. There's multiple ways to explain it with all the segment knotting and stuff. With alphas, you just kind of like have to follow the pattern. It is what it is. So I have a tutorial on how to follow patterns, which is the flat alpha tutorial. I'll leave that linked in case you want it. But I can't really just like make individual tutorials for each alpha bracelet because you literally just have to like look at the pattern and do what it says, you know? Anyway, I filmed Not With Me's for alphas quite a bit. And this is the first one. This bracelet has actually been on my to-dos for so long as well. I really think it's so cute. It's such a cute pattern. I like repetitive patterns. I don't make many of them, but I do really like how they look. You know, like with some kind of element that repeats like this. It's really popular right now. A lot of people are making bracelets like that or patterns like that as well. So yeah, this one's been on my to-dos for a while. I've been wanting to make it, finally have. And here is an up close look at it. One thing that I don't quite like here is the green that I chose for the shadow. I wish I chose a different green for the shadow because I don't think that it works quite as well as it could have. But that's a very minor nitpick. Overall, I think this is a fantastic bracelet and I had so much fun making it. And I really love the red. I think the red is just so beautiful here. So yeah, I filmed this one for Not With Me from start to finish. You can watch me create this when the video is out, which will be soon. And finally, the last bracelet I have here is also a bracelet I filmed for Not With Me. It's this bracelet. This bracelet has also been on my to-dos for so long, ages. And I finally made it. Here is a closer look at that. These roses, the pattern for this is so beautiful. I love the pattern for this. I had to extend it a bit by like 2 roses just because it would have been way too short otherwise. I kind of wish I could have extended it by 1 rose because now it's a little bit too long, but I'd rather have it a little bit too long than a little bit too short, you know? I don't love the colors for the roses, if I'm being honest. Oh, I actually have them right here. Still haven't put these away. These are the colors that I chose for it. It took me so long to choose the colors. And even when I did, it took me like a really long amount of time to like fidget with them and figure out like how I want them to look. It was difficult because I wanted the like bright red to be the middle color, which is the pink, but then that didn't work and I couldn't pick out better colors. It took me ages and I thought I had settled on it and I thought it looked fine, but I don't love how they look here. Like, I'm not totally against it. It looks fine, you know, but I think the tone of the color doesn't quite fit. Like the pink doesn't quite fit with the other ones. And I really wanted the red one to be the focus of it. So I'm not like thrilled about it, but it was a really fun bracelet to make and I love how it turned out regardless. So I filmed the entire process of this one as well. You can watch me create it when that video comes out as well. Alright, so now that I've shown you all the bracelets that I made this winter, minus December, let's talk about the next challenge. So since I'm going to be doing wrap-ups every season, you actually have 3 full months to create a bracelet for this challenge. I will be filming my next wrap-up at the end of May, so you have until the last week of May, which is when I'll be editing, to create a bracelet. And for spring, we're going to be bringing it back all the way to the basics. Instead of giving you a specific pattern or giving you a set of criteria like I did last time, I'm just gonna ask you to make a spring-related bracelet. I know, super basic, but I have fun with these every single time. I personally love making spring-related bracelets and also summer-related bracelets. There are so many cute patterns out there, whether that be an alpha pattern or a normal pattern. With normal patterns, it's more to do with colors. Some actual spring and summer-related bracelets, but with alpha patterns, you know, it's more obvious. Like this would technically be a spring-related bracelet, right? Even this actually would probably fit into the criteria because flowers. But I've got a different one picked out that I'm going to be doing for spring. So I'll show you that at the next wrap up. So make any bracelet that you think is spring related, and to participate in the challenge, post a picture on Instagram or on my Discord server. If you want to submit through Instagram, make sure to tag me in the post and also use 2 hashtags, hashtag not with Masha and hashtag not with Masha spring23. That's how I will find your photos to include in the next video. If you want to submit through Discord, if you didn't know I have a Discord server, it's linked in the description. There's going to be a separate channel for photos for the spring challenge, so you can submit through there. Make sure to only submit photos in the photo channel. There is a separate discussion channel where you can chat about the challenge, but please only submit photos to the photo channel because it makes it so difficult to find photos if there's a bunch of chats there as well. So submit your photos and we'll have a look at them in the next wrap-up video. This is a challenge, not a competition. It's just for fun, but I really enjoy making bracelets with you guys, so I'd love to see your bracelets. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you liked some of the bracelets that I made here. I'm linking all the patterns in the description. And of course, as I said, a bunch of these are gonna have tutorials soon. So hopefully you actually found a couple that maybe you want to have a look at later. There's tons of videos coming up and more are being filmed all the time. I'm kind of on a roll right now. I'm filming a bunch and my husband is helping me do the rough cuts of edits. So thank you, Stefan. It's actually been super helpful. As I mentioned before, my book, The Beginner's Guide to Friendship Bracelets, is now out worldwide. It's full of photo tutorials for beginners, takes you all the way from the basics to the more advanced stuff, and it's available for purchase worldwide. You can buy it anywhere you typically buy books, and there is also a direct link in the description if you want to use that. I also want to give a special shout out to my patrons and especially my top supporters. It is with your support that I'm able to make the videos that I do on this channel, and if you also want to support the work that I do here, the link to that is in the description. But in any case, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!